Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. Today's video is going to be another one brand look, and that brand is E.L.F. I've been meaning to do a one brand E.L.F. for quite a while now. Basically, the UK E.L.F. website is really awkward to order on. Like, it only lets you pay by like PayPal, because every time you go to just put your card details in normally, it just doesn't want to take your payment for whatever reason. So in the end, I just ended up making a new PayPal account, and well, now I have a full face of E.L.F. Some of these products are first impressions, some of these I haven't tried before, whereas others are products that I've had in my collection for a while, things that I know and love. E.L.F. has got some of my favourite makeup products. I think they're a really good brand. Yeah, this video we're just going to be talking all about E.L.F., all of the good, all of the bad, all of the in-between. So let's just get started. So as always, we are going to start with eyeshadow. So I'm just going to use the hydrating camo concealer. I've got the hydrating one and I've got the original one as well. We're going to use the hydrating one. I'm going to use this as an eyeshadow base. This is the light ivory shade. I think this is the darker one that I have. Probably should have used the lighter one, but oh well, it doesn't really matter because it's just as an eyeshadow base. It's got to get covered with eyeshadow anyway. I'll probably talk about them more later in the video when I'm actually using them on my face. But I adore the E.L.F. concealers. I've obviously tried the original camo like ages ago, and it's been one of my favourites since. But I've only recently tried the hydrating one, and I have to say I like it just as much. I think it's just as good. I think they're both great. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I actually have 3 palettes from them. So the first one I have is the E.L.F. Retro Paradise palette. I believe this was a limited edition thing. I don't think they make it anymore, but I will obviously have a look and see if I can find a link to it. It's this one here. It has a really nice colour scheme. This is a decent palette. We also have the 18 Hit Wonder palette. They definitely still do this one. I really like this palette. I don't know, should I use this one today? I'm not sure yet. But this has some really lovely shimmers in it, and the mattes are really nice. Now, when I made my order on E.L.F., I got this free eyeshadow palette. Didn't really want it, didn't ask for it, but it is their Mad for Matte Fantique Mate. What? That's a weird name. Basically, it's their Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette in the shade Nude Mood. I think they have like a few different colour variations. This is what it looks like. It's very, very nude. It's a very, very nude, very basic sort of palette. I think it's all matte, you know. Yeah, there's no shimmers in here. This is just an all matte palette. I've not used this yet. I have no idea what it's like. And part of me thinks I should probably just use something that I know that I like, which would be this guy. I think I will stick with this guy, but if there is any shades that I feel like tapping into in this one, then I will. Obviously, I will use this, and I will probably talk about it. Yeah, we're going to use the 18 Hit Wonder palette. What should I do? I have no idea what look to do. I'm thinking I might do a sort of bluey purple kind of look, because my temptation was to go neutral, but I'm like, nah, do something different. Yes, I'm going to start with the matte blue shade here called Electric. And I'm going to whack a load of this in the crease area. Got very nice pigmentation. Underneath that, I'm going to use this shade called Royal, which is like a purple. It is a shimmer, but it's like kind of like a matte sort of shimmer. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to apply that underneath the blue. This might not work at all, but let's give it a go. And I'm going to use a bit of this sort of dark plummy shade up here. And I'm going to blend a bit of that in the crease area as well, outer third sort of area too. Okay, so I'm going to do a cut crease now, so I'm going to go back to my hydrating camo concealer. And gonna do quite a large cut crease. I'm gonna put some nice shimmers over the top of that. Okay, so over that cut crease, I'm going to use the silver shade, which is absolutely stunning. That's going in the inner third. It's just so beautiful. Oh. Just look at it. And next to that silver, I'm going to use the purple shimmer called Velvet, this one here, in the rest of that cut crease. I'm going to use a bit of this light pink shimmer called Pave up here, just to blend out under the brow bone. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up the edge with a wipe and just catch up on the other eye, and then I think that'll be the eyeshadow done. Okay, so we're back with the eyeshadow done. Next I'm going to move on to eyeliner. I have the No Budge retractable liner. It's just a black kohl eyeliner, and I'm going to pop this in my waterlines. So moving on to mascara, I have their Big Mood mascara, and I've not actually tried this yet. I did originally want to get their Keep Your Curl mascara because I tried that one a couple years ago and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, so I wanted to just get something that I knew that I liked, but it was out of stock, so I couldn't. And again, I feel like most of the other mascaras tend to get kind of mixed reviews, including this one. They have just recently come out with a new one. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put a screenshot on the screen if I'm not being lazy when I'm editing this, but they've just come out with a new one recently. Of course it was after I made my order though, wasn't it, so couldn't try it. So we'll give this one a go. I have no idea if I'm going to like it or not because it's got sort of mixed reviews. It's got a sort of hourglass wand, very chunky. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my top lashes. And I guess we'll see, but yeah, I definitely recommend the Keep Your Curl mascara from E.L.F. That is a really good one. And I would have gotten that one if it was in stock instead, but it wasn't. That's a really good mascara, very similar to Maybelline Lash Sensational, which I know is a favourite of a lot of people. So yeah, it's very similar to that. So if you like that mascara, you'd like the Keep Your Curl one. Okay, so I think this mascara has done a pretty good job. Like, it has given me some good volume. The only thing is, because the wand is so big and chunky, it's really difficult to sort of like get into all your lashes individually and like sort of separate them out. It's just difficult to do that with the wand. But if I'm being honest, I feel like it has given me a good amount of volume. I feel like it's done a decent job. I'm just not the biggest fan of the wand, but it has given some drama. I will say that. It has given some drama. The Keep Your Curl mascara though just has a much like thinner sort of curved wand, which is like way better to get sort of intricately into your lashes. You just can't really get that intricate application with this, so you will just get like a little bit of clumping. But it has done a pretty decent job, saying that. Like, it's given me some lashes. That's really what I want at the end of the day. Okay, so we're going to move on to base now. I actually have two primers from E.L.F. So I've got their, that's not it. So I've got their Poreless Putty Primer, and I also have their Natural Glow Lotion. This is discontinued. I believe I did find it on a website, I think. If there is a website where you can still get this, I will put a link to it. But I believe they discontinued this, which is really annoying because this is a beautiful primer. It just gives you really subtle glow, a bit of hydration. It's really nice. Why would you discontinue this? I don't know. But obviously I know a lot of people love the Poreless Putty Primer, so I'm gonna use both of them. Might as well. I think I'll start with the Poreless one, and I'm just gonna apply it in my my pore areas. Because, you know, that is kind of the gist of it, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just going to apply it mostly like in the centre of my face, on my areas where I have more prominent pores, like so like my It's like my nose. And, you know the bits, you can see. I'm also going to put a little bit of the glow lotion on as well, more so in the other areas of the face, I think. So we're going to move on to foundation. This is the E.L.F. Camo CC Cream. I've not actually tried this yet. This is a first impression, and typically they came out with 10 new shades after I did my E.L.F. haul, didn't they? Of course they did. This one is in the shade Fair 120. It was the lightest shade at the time, but I think they might be paler shades now. I've seen this get some positive reviews, so I'm quite excited to try it. I have tried their other E.L.F. foundation. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Flawless Finish Foundation or something like that. They're like original foundation. I did used to have that. I did declutter it. It wasn't bad. Like, it was okay, but it was just meh to me, really. So we'll see how this one compares. So this is obviously a CC cream, which is something I would usually associate with being quite lightweight, but then it also does say that it's full coverage, so I guess we'll see how that works. I mean, even if it isn't full coverage, it doesn't really matter because the camo concealers are so full coverage anyway, so we will obviously get that full coverage look in the end. I feel like the shade should probably be okay, actually. It might be a tiny bit dark, but I'm not going to put any white mixer in. We'll see. It might work okay, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to apply a load of this. Actually, you know what? I think that might be like a pretty spot on colour match, actually. Okay, so that actually looks really nice. I'm like quite impressed with it. The coverage is pretty good. It's not like super full coverage, but I would say it's like a medium, high medium coverage, which is absolutely fine. It looks really nice on the skin. Like, it's given decent coverage, but it doesn't look super heavy. The finish I would say is sort of like a satin semi-matte finish. It's not super dewy, it's not super matte, it's just sort of somewhere in the middle. It still manages to look quite skin-like. It looks really nice on the skin. I like this. And I think the colour match is pretty spot on, actually. Like, it's not too pale, but it's not too dark. Unless it oxidizes really badly, I feel like the colour match is pretty decent, actually. Actually quite liking this. I definitely think I prefer this one to the original E.L.F. foundation, definitely. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a nice foundation, or CC cream, I guess. I think it's done a good job. I've got 3 of the original camos here. One is literally just the same shade twice. I just bought a refill because the other one was running out. So I've got Fair Warm and I've got Light Sand in that. And in the Hydrating Camo Concealer, I have a Light Ivory and Fair Warm. I'm going to use my original camo shade for the under eyes. This is a Fair Warm shade. This is a really good under eye brightening shade. Then I think I'll switch to the hydrating one to do overlay blemishes and stuff. But this is literally probably my favourite concealer of all time. I just love it. It just has fantastic coverage. And it's very matte, but without being dry. I just love it. And I love the hydrating version too. I think they're both fantastic. I'm now going to switch to the Hydrating Camo. This one is also the Fair Warm shade. Yeah, for some reason the Fair Warm shade in the Hydrating Concealer is darker than the original camo, which is a bit weird. I don't really understand why. It's because this is definitely darker, so hence why I'm going to use this one over blemishes instead. So I'm just putting this over any blemishes, and probably a little bit on my nose. Okay, so we're going to move on to setting powder now. I know a lot of people really like their putty cream products. I think they've got like a bronzer and a blush. I'm not really into cream product. I'm not really into cream cheek products that much though, so this is also first impression. This is the Halo Glow setting powder and it's in the shade Light. I've not tried this yet and I have no idea what to expect. I have tried some like loose powders from E.L.F in the past, but they were always too dark for me. They were like super orangey, but this actually looks like it's quite pale, so I am optimistic about this shade. Yeah, so look, it looks quite light and it's got like a slight yellow hint to it. So here's hoping it works because this is the only powder from them that I have. So I'm going to use this under the eyes and all over the face. I'm going to use it absolutely everywhere. Obviously it's like a Halo Glow powder, so I'm assuming it's got like a little bit of radiance in it as well. Hopefully it's not like too much radiance to the point where it looks a bit odd. But we will find out, I guess. Like looking at it, it doesn't look super like shimmery or anything. We'll see how it translates on the face. Powder's done a really nice job. Honestly, I don't look at it and feel like it looks super radiant or anything, but I mean, I'm not that mad about it because I don't really want like my setting powders to be super duper glowy anyway. I feel like really it's quite mattifying. It looks really smooth. It looks really smooth, but it doesn't feel too heavy. The colour has worked pretty well. It does have a bit of like a sort of yellowy tone to it, so bear that in mind. But I do feel like overall, I feel like my colour match looks pretty good. So I would say it does work for pale skin. But if you're maybe a bit more cooler in tone, it might look a bit like yellowy on you. Okay, we're going to move on to bronzer now. So I have this E.L.F bronzer. I think it's just called like bronzer. It's in the shade Sunkissed. Again, I think this is another product that is most likely discontinued. I didn't see it there the last time I was on their website. Which is a shame actually, because I quite like this. It's a good shade for pale skin and it's just a nice formula. I do also have one of the little bite-sized palettes. This is the Cantaloupe shade, and this shade here, I used it in one of my recent first impressions videos, and it actually does kind of work as a bronzer in my shade. You could obviously also use it as a blush, but I felt like it worked as a bronzer as well. I'm going to use both of them because why not? I'll start with this one. Again, if I can find a link to it, I will. I do find it annoying that quite a few of the E.L.F products I have are discontinued, which is especially because I like the products that are discontinued. It's just annoying. I'm going to start with this one and just whack it all over. Again, it's like it's a really subtle bronzer with a bit of radiance in it. Probably actually should have put this one afterwards because this one is more glowy and more radiant, and the bite-sized one is more matte, so I probably actually should have put that one on first, but oh well. Live and you learn, I guess. I don't know why, I feel like I'm getting more glow than I am actual like bronze with this. Like you can see a bit of bronze, but it's more just sort of glow. Right, I'm gonna dip into this Cantaloupe shade as well. Add some of that in the cheek area too. This one's definitely more pigmented, but it blends out nicely. I don't have a blush from E.L.F, but I did sort of kind of sweep that orangey shade into my blush areas as well. But this obviously has a highlighter in it too. I do also have a separate highlighter. I don't know what these are called. I feel like the word molten was in there. Like molten metallic flare highlighter. I think that might be what it is. I don't know. But it's the highlighter that E.L.F does. It's in the shade White Gold. It looks like this. It's not one of my favourites just because it is quite hard pressed. You do have to kind of go through a few layers before you start getting colour payoff. But like once you do get past that initial layer, it's not too bad. I think I will use this one today. I mean, yeah, it's actually quite nice to be fair. Not my favourite highlighter. But it's alright, it's quite nice. To be fair, it does look pretty nice. You know what? I'm going to add some of this as well. I don't need to because I've already gotten a decent helping of highlighter, but F it. Let's layer more highlighter up. And while we're here, let's add some setting spray just to mesh all those products together. This is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. Again, I believe they have come out with like a newer setting spray recently that I probably would have liked to have tried, but that's just typical. They always come out with new products after I make my order. That's just always how it goes. And now I'm on a no-buy, so I can't try them anyway until a year's time. I think I've only used this once or twice so far, but it's alright. It's not bad. The coconut smell is quite strong, but it's quite pleasant. And just adds a little bit of dew to your face. The mist is a little bit on the aggressive side, though, I will say, but super duper hydrating and refreshing. I will say I do feel like my base is maybe oxidized a little bit, and again, I don't know if that's the powder, the foundation, or what. It could literally be any of the products. But I do feel like I have gotten a little bit darker, but not majorly. Like, I still feel like I can get away with this colour, but just something to note. I feel like it probably would have been the foundation maybe. I'm going to move on to brows. E.L.F does one of my favourite brow gels, which is their Wow Brow gel. I did repurchase another one, but I think I still have a tiny bit left in my old one. This is really old now. Can I scrape some out of this, or will this be the end of it? I got the shade Neutral Brown, which works really well for me. This is just a really lovely, natural, subtle brow gel. One of my favourites. I love it, and it's super affordable. I'm going to use my old one, and if I feel like I'm not getting enough product out, I will switch to the new one I've brought. I think this one is probably at its end now, but it's done my brows for today. Do also have a micro brow pencil. This is called their Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and I'm going to use this to define those brows a bit more. This is a decent brow pencil. It's not my favourite micro brow pencil, but it's not bad. So I'm just gonna define my brows a bit more with this. Like, it's not bad, but I do feel like there's like softer, creamier formulas out there, but it does the job. I also got this product free with my order. This is the E.L.F. XX Jen Atkin Hair and Brow Pomade Clear Coat. I have been using this a bit. It's a decent brow gel, and I like the wand because it's quite unique. I wouldn't say like it like glues your brow hairs down, like it's not gonna leave them in place all day or anything, but it's like a nice clear brow gel, but it doesn't have like the best sort of staying powder, but I like using it, it's fun. I like the brush as well. So I'm just gonna put a bit of this through my brows as well, just because why the hell not? Okay, so we're gonna go back to the eyes now. I'm gonna put a bit of this highlighter in my inner corners. Going back to the palette, I'm gonna go in with the matte blue shade again, and we're gonna wax some of that on the lower lash line. Gonna use a bit of this purple shade I used earlier as well, in the same sort of area. And I'm gonna put a bit of the plummy shade right up to the lash line. Gonna put some more of the Big Mood mascara on. This is going to be difficult on the lower lashes, but we'll try. So I only actually have one lip product from E.L.F. This is their, no idea, does not say what it is on here. It's like a crown lipstick, and it's in the shade Scarlet Night. Again, I think this might be discontinued, I don't know. I couldn't see just like a straight up matte lipstick on their website, so I don't know, none of the lip products just particularly appealed to me. But I have this guy, it's like a kind of plummy, reddy colour. It's a bit intense, don't know if it complements these eyes or not, but I guess we'll find out, because this is all I've got to put on my lips. quite a nice lip product, to be fair. It is quite matte, actually. I'm going to do something potentially stupid. This is probably a bad idea, but I'm going to put a bit of concealer in the middle. Just a tiny bit. This is probably going to ruin this. I mean, if anything, that's just made it look sort of pink now. I don't think that was the best idea. Okay, so I think that's everything. So I'm just going to go ahead, clean up any mess, do something with my hair, and we'll be back. Okay, so we are back with the finished look. This is a full face using E.L.F. Overall, I really like E.L.F. as a brand. I think they have a lot of really good products, although they do seem to have a habit of discontinuing products that I really like, which is slightly annoying. But yeah, they have some of my favourite products. I love their concealers, I love the brow gel. This eyeshadow palette is really nice. Honestly, the mascara has really impressed me. The foundation, the CC camo thing really impressed me. The setting powder impressed me. Honestly, a lot of the products that they do are really good in my opinion. Yes, they do have a few misses here and there. They're not completely consistent, I will say. But I do think overall they're a really great brand, and the majority of their products are super affordable as well. I think that will be the last one brand video I do for a while. I'm thinking of doing some videos where I do like a sort of double brand video. So like I pick two brands, so for example, say E.L.F. and like, I don't know, Maybelline or something like that. And then like the video is I just have to use E.L.F. and Maybelline. I'm thinking of doing some videos like that maybe. So that way I don't have to just like keep products just in case I do a one brand in them in the future, because then I can obviously split between two brands. Just an idea I had, and I'll probably end up doing that at some point this year. But this will probably be the last solo one brand. Unless there's anything in my collection where I still have the whole brand, like for example Revolution I probably do, then maybe I'll do another one, a Revolution one possibly. But there won't be any new one brand look videos, if that makes sense. It'll be ones that I've done before in the past, just again. But that's it for this video, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.